Hi, I'm Sienna Williams. I'm a senior marketing major here at the University of Akron. And how I first met Dr. Owens was a little unique. So I met her the summer of my freshman year, and she was one of my professors. She was teaching marketing principles, and honestly, that was just a whole different experience. During that class, she was so personable. And my favorite memory of Dr. Owens would have to be when we were baking these protein muffins, and then after we went on a hike. Honestly, it was one of the best experiences ever. She helps me like a lot, not just professionally, but also personally. And so I'm so happy that I met her.
Hello, my name is Abdallah Ndume, double majoring in sales and marketing, minoring in risk management insurance. I met Dr. Owens during one of my senior class seminar. She was in there talking to us. I happened to sit in the front row. She asked a question, I answered the question. Right after class, she pulled me outside of the class. We had a conversation. The rest was basically history. Obviously, I ended up majoring in sales and marketing, a department that she was the chair of. And some of the best memories, some of the best experiences that I've had with her is every time that I've stepped in her office, I've asked her for guidance. As you know, I'm young. I have a lot of things that I need to learn about. I have plenty of mistakes to make. But every time that I've went in her offices, she has always made me feel very smart, very powerful in the sense of I'm able to accomplish anything that I can set my mind onto.
University of Akron. I'm a marketing and sales major. I met Dr. Owens about a year and a half ago at a private college of business tour. I connected with her instantly, and I ended up getting a job here at Polsky. So I've got to interact with her on a daily basis. My favorite, most impactful moment with Dr. Owens was when she invited me to attend an Akron roundtable with her. That was the first thing that I've gotten to do at Akron. And it wasn't the event that was impactful for me, but it was the confidence and pride that she instilled in me. Ever since that day, she's been pushing me every single day to get better. She's helped me become not only a better student and a better professional, but a better man and a better Christian.
I am Hallie Miller, a spring 2024 graduate of the University of Akron, where I had the opportunity to meet and connect with Dr. Owens. The first memories I have together are the internship class, where I was able to share my experiences at Smucker's, where I now work in the sales department for Uncrustables. As I think about the impact that Dr. Owens has had on my career, it really boils down to two main points. First, she constantly pushed me out of my comfort zone to achieve the next goal. That included speaking at the College of Business graduation ceremony, as well as pursuing my MBA, which was a big step as a first-generation college student.
Hello, I'm Janelle Ports, and I was actually a graduate here at the University of Akron in August of 2002. I can recall meeting Dr. Deb Owens for the first time in 2000 as I was a student in her marketing principles class, and it really kicked off my curriculum here in sales management in that exact class, and I learned so much, but what I was most in awe of was just how put together Dr. Owens was. I knew that she was an avid runner and would run miles in the morning, get the kids to school, come and be a successful professor here, was so active in the community and married to a prominent physician at Summa. I just always thought back in my days at college that she was somebody that I could aspire to be and find a balance between being a successful businesswoman but also being a successful mom, wife, and somebody active in the community. I can recall one of my most memorable moments with Dr. Owens being in 2001. She had always kind of followed me throughout my courses here at the University of Akron in the CBA. And it was going into my senior year where she knew I had an interest in pharmaceutical sales. And Pfizer was actually launching and pioneering an internship here at the university. And I applied for one of 3 positions as an intern. Dr. Owens one day called me into her office and wanted to talk to me and help prepare me for my panel interview. And she definitely gave me some tough love and talked me through, my business appearance, really encouraged that I cut my hair or perhaps just wear it neatly back and consider, a dark black or navy business suit. Definitely something I hadn't really thought through at that point, being, a 21-year-old. But I let it settle. I took her advice because I truly trusted her genuine approach to help me. And I nailed the interview, and in fact, I really credit her to helping launch me into my now 22 years and counting successful career in the pharmaceutical industry. Thanks, Dr. Owens.
I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to get to know you for over 20 years, and I can't believe to say that it's actually been that long. But I have known Deb ever since I was an undergraduate student in the College of Business at the University of Akron. Although uniquely, I didn't have her as a marketing professor, even though I was a marketing major. I got to know her through her husband, John Fink, who was board chair at the time when I was a student trustee. And it was really great to be able to get to know not only her, but her husband, John, through that experience. Ever since then, we've stayed in very close touch, from working together to help student success through the Marketing Advisory Board, to her encouragement to me to try out a professor role and to be an MBA professor for a semester.
Hi everyone, I'm Jordan Panna. I'm a two-time graduate of the University of Akron. I'm fortunate to have gotten to know Dr. Owens first as her student in a number of different classes, and for the last several years I've served as chair of the Junior Advisory Board. And in all of my occasions working with Deb, I've seen how dedicated she is to her students, whether it would be receiving feedback and suggestions and support from her, and the dedication that she gives to each student and to everyone that she works with. So Deb, I want to say thank you, the marketing department, the College of Business, and honestly the University of Akron. But I know you'll still be involved, and I'm so thankful for supporting and building the team that you have to lead the marketing department. And I'm so grateful for all that you've done for all of us.
Well, today I'm here to celebrate Debbie Fink Owens' retirement. I'm uniquely qualified to speak about Debbie because I've known her for about 45 years. And other than my mother, I've not known any other woman that long, that consecutively. I met Debbie through her husband, John, my best friend, back in November of '79. John and I worked together as surgical residents for 5 of our first 6 months of John in the hospital. We hit it off right away, and John and I shared very much the same type of family values. He was like the first resident that invited us over for dinner, and I brought my wife, and she met Debbie. Even though she didn't know her, they were the same age and they knew each other very well. So the four of us hit it off great right from the start, and we quickly became a great foursome. Deb was very organized, and she worked at Children's Hospital back in those days. We both started families together with children of similar ages through 4 pregnancies. Then Debbie went back to school after her time at Children's was up, and gradually worked on her PhD at Kent State, and then moved over here to Akron U back in the mid-90s. Her husband John went on the board here at the University of Akron and spent 9 years when they were transforming the university into a much bigger campus, let's say.
Well, I've known Deb for almost 30 years. We met when we joined Fairlawn Country Club. Her and John were already members. And when you join, they make you fill out a bio that indicates what you're doing. And I worked for an ad agency, had a marketing background, so that piqued Deb's interest in getting to know me a little better. Come to find out, Deb and I have a very special bond. One day, our children, her youngest Sarah and my youngest Annie, were at the pool after we joined the club, and they were talking, and one mentioned that, well, it's my mom's birthday, and the other one said, well, it's my mom's birthday. And come to find out, Deb and I not only were born on the same day, but we were born on the same year and at the same hospital. So we celebrate that birthday every year together by playing a round of golf.
Hi, Debbie. Congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. I've always known Debbie Owens as a real dynamo. I first heard her name from her father, who I met shortly after I came to Akron Children's Hospital in 1979. And I think Debbie was doing some work at Ohio State University hospitals then. Shortly after I met her dad, I received a call from a grad school classmate who was on the administrative staff at Ohio State, and Debbie was doing some work for him. It just so happened that Debbie was in the process of moving back to Akron, and my good friend Cliff Eldridge said I should meet and talk with her. We set up that meeting, and Debbie and I had a wonderful first conversation, and we talked about her interest and what opportunities might exist at Children's Hospital. One thing led to another, and Debbie was hired on the administrative staff at Akron Children's and had some key responsibilities with our nursing department and our ancillary staff areas. She put together wonderful, world-class, best practice business principles that still benefit that hospital well today. She was a mentor, she was a colleague, she was a teacher, and she was a dynamo. She then took all those skills and went to the University of Akron, where she has had a phenomenal career. And now, after nearly 30 years, will be retiring. We saw a little bit about that career because both of our boys had class with Debbie Owens. And she again passed on best practice business principles to both of them.
Hi, my name is Sarah Judge, and my mom is Dr. Deborah Owens. But it would be more accurate to say that my name is Dr. Sarah Judge because I followed in my mom's footsteps and pursued my PhD in accounting. I now teach accounting at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. I think it's one of the highest compliments that I can pay my mom that I followed in her footsteps because she showed me it was possible to be a great mom and to have a career. Growing up, I have so many memories of my mom's career. I remember when I was in pre-K and I got a concussion, and she had to pick me up from school and brought me back to her office, where I promptly threw up in front of one of her students. I remember sitting at the kitchen counter and helping her grade by putting stickers on her best students' papers. And I remember carrying around her old briefcase full of her old research papers, and I had a highlighter because I told her that I was proofreading them. But one of the most significant experiences I had is when I went with my mom to London for 6 weeks while she led a study abroad. I sat in on her international business class, and I came home and decided I was going to major in international business and then some other major that I would love enough to get my PhD. That other major ended up being accounting. When I decided to pursue my PhD in accounting, my mom was one of my biggest supporters. When I had 2 children during the program and people thought I was crazy, I was quick to remind them that my mom pursued her PhD when she had 4 children under the age of 8. I knew that I could do it because I had seen her do it before me.
It's a true honor to step into the role of chair of the Department of Marketing and continue Debbie's incredible legacy. Debbie has been more than just a colleague and a boss, she has been a true friend. She's left a lasting impact on so many, serving as a connector and supporter, and I can't tell you how many times I've run into former students who say, "Oh, Dr. Owens, she's tough but fair." But one of my favorite moments was last semester when I chatted with some students in Dr. Owens's honors class. I mentioned something like, "Oh, Deb did this," and one of the students looked at me puzzled and said, "Who's Deb?" I replied, "Your professor," and they responded, "Oh, Dr. Owens, we didn't know that was her first name." It just goes to show the level of respect she's earned over the years. To many, she may be Debbie or Deb, but let's face it, she's always going to be Dr. Owens first and foremost, and that is a legacy worth celebrating.
Hi, I'm Doug Houseknecht. Everybody knows me as Dr. Doug, and I'm one of those few people who's still around who was here when we hired Deb Owens for the marketing department. I remember it was a tough time back then because there were a lot more people than jobs at that time, so we really put her through the ringer coming in, and she floated above the rest and has been sailing ever since. So one of the things that Deb's really known for is her connections with students, and one way that has come out over the years is through the study abroad programs. I remember one summer she had taken a group to London, I believe it was. And a second anecdote, Deb and I were going to a conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. My wife happened to be coming along as part of the trip, and we had hit the Denver airport, the brand new, everything exciting Denver airport. Just as a hailstorm hit, a bunch of planes got knocked out, including ours, the announcement was, well, your next chance out is 24 hours later on the same flight. So, Deb and I, this is the days before getting the internet on cell phones. You had a cell phone, maybe you had a cell phone directory, so we started looking through, and sure enough, Deb has a couple of friends in Denver, calls a friend. She's like, yeah, sure, last minute, come on out, get a cab, here's my address. We go, we have showers, we have beds, we have a champagne breakfast the next morning, a nice little lunch, a ride back to the airport. We walk into the gate area where all these people who are waiting for the same flight are looking very grumpy and unhappy and uncomfortable, having spent the night in the airport chairs. And we're nice and refreshed and having a great time because Deb has friends all over, and even back then she had the best Rolodex in the West. So,
Dr. Deb Owens has meant so much to me throughout my development as an academic and now a professional. I met her as a graduate student at the University of Akron, and she was such an incredible professor. I really never met somebody like her. She really developed the way that the students worked in teams, and I learned so much about being an effective teammate and stepping up and what it means to be a leader on a team throughout her class. That really set the tone for the relationship that I developed with her throughout the years. She has been a tremendous mentor to me, always being willing to be honest and provide her opinion, no matter what it is. And it's really something that is so unique about her, and I love that. It's something I'm really gonna miss about working with her. Now, as colleagues, I've had the privilege to be her colleague for the last 7 years, and it's been really just wonderful to kind of see how that development has gone from student to mentor to colleague, and we've been friends the entire time too. We share values professionally, personally, and just in so many different ways. We've connected, and she means so much to me.
Congratulations, Deb. It's hard to believe that you are finally retiring. We have worked together some 23 years side by side here in the College of Business at the University of Akron. And more than congratulations, I want to say thank you. There are two things that come to mind over the years that you and I were involved in a variety of ways. The first thing that comes to mind is back in the spring of 2020, how we had to work together to try to figure out how we're going to get classes online after COVID hit. And though we all had a little bit of stress, we worked side by side and figured out how to get it done. And so there was a good experience for that spring and into the following year. But on a personal note, I want to say thank you for being a friend. You and I, about 6 years ago or so, became caretakers of people that we cared about and loved. And it was nice to know that when I came to work, that there was somebody there that knew exactly what I was going through almost at the exact same time.
And think about this. Imagine how many countless lives that you've impacted. I mean, in some of these kids you've had an impact on, you probably don't even know. They don't tell you, but they'll remember over years or even decades about the impact that you made with them. And do know that that's really a special gift that we get in the teaching profession. And I want to remind you, now that you're kind of thinking about changing the final professional chapter of your life, this is the time to turn the page, right? So it's time to start working with your grandkids and get to spend some time traveling and enjoying all the precious moments with, 13, 14 grandbabies. That's a lot of fun. You could start working on your golf game, right? And we can get out there and we can try to learn how to get that ball in the hole and putt the way you'd like to putt one day, and always imagine the opportunities that you have to make an impact in people you've never impacted before. So with that, I want to just say thank you for helping the Fisher to move ahead with 30 years of incredible success. You are a big part of that last decade of our impact. Once a zip, you're always a zip, and that's just the way it is when you come from Zipland. And I want to take a moment to say congratulations to you, and hopefully we'll have a really fun event here tonight. And I just wanted to say, a little final toast, if I may. And that is, here's to enjoying moments that truly matter with those who matter the most. And I wish you all the best.
Hey everyone, greetings from Casablanca, Morocco. Debbie, as I couldn't be with you all tonight to celebrate, please accept my video message. Congratulations, really thrilled for you. As you've probably heard me paraphrase the quote, success isn't just about what you accomplish. It's really more about what you inspire others to accomplish. And so on behalf of decades of students and colleagues that you have inspired, thank you. I assure you, what you have done, what you have left, will forever be etched in the history of the University of Akron. We will miss you. You will never be forgotten. And we can't wait to see what the next chapter has in store for you. And since I'm in Casablanca, to quote Bogey, here's looking at you, kid. Congrats, Deb.